Okay, let's try recording this now. So what we're going to do, start an Octagon game for Marvel Champions. There we go. And I'll just play by myself, but it can be played with up to 4 people. Start. Start. There we go. So, we will load the villain Rhino. That's the starting villain. And he is suggested to use the Bomb Scare edition. We'll play him at standard. And the cards come up on the sides over there. And we will load our own deck out of the box starter deck for, I don't know. Let's do Black Panther. Black Panther versus Rhino. So that loads. And here we have T'Challa. He has Foresight. As a setup, I can search my deck for a Black Panther upgrade and add it to my hand. So I will do that. We're going to look at all cards in my deck. We're looking for a Black Panther upgrade. I am wanting the Panther Claws. So let's find that. There. Panther Claws. Put that in my hand. Close and shuffle. Okay, you also need to remember to shuffle the encounter deck, or else the first card that you draw will be your I don't remember what it's called, but there's a card that every hero adds into the encounter deck for bad stuff to happen, and it puts them on top, so you want to make sure that you shuffle that. Okay, so here we are. The break-in. Rhino is attacking a shield facility. So if we actually were to build the deck ourselves, we would use Rhino 1 and 2. So I know there's a second Rhino hiding somewhere after I beat the first one. Rhino and the standard encounter sets, and the one modular encounter set Bomb Scare. Then we advance it to 1B. So right-click it, flip card. 1B. Rhino is trying to smash through the facility wall and steal a shipment of vibranium. You must stop him. If this stage is completed, the players lose the game. It needs to be completed 7, you can see it in the upper left corner, 7 per the number of players. So since there's only one player, if it reaches 7, then Rhino wins. Okay, and the players start first. T'Challa starts first. He doesn't actually have an ability to use a return, so I don't think I need to stay as T'Challa. Once per turn, you can flip the card over and change form. So we turn T'Challa into Black Panther, where he has a 2 thwart, 2 attack, and 2 defense with a retaliate 1 as his special ability. Okay, so now we're looking at things. The upper left corner of cards tells you how much it costs to play them. The bottom left corner is the resource that card produces if you discard it from your hand. So I want to put the Panther Claws into play, and I will pay for that with vibranium, which is 2 wild costs, 2 wild resources. Resources come in 3 different types: mental, energy, and physical. And then of course wild can fill the need for any of those in a specific case. I don't believe Black Panther's deck needs any specific resources at any time through the entire thing. It might surprise me, but I don't think it does. And then, of course, when you're just paying the cost for a card, like the 4 on here, you do not need to pay anything in specific. Okay, I don't have power of protection. We could use that to, we will put out the med team. Let's move the Panther Claws up here. Med team. And we will pay that 3 with the power of protection. Double the number of resources this card generates while paying for a protection card. And that is a protection card. So that's 2. And then we will also throw away the, I don't know. Let's throw away the Avengers Mansion, which is a really great thing to get out at the very beginning, and that's probably the way I should have went. And then we will attack. So you can right click and ready or exhaust, which is F7, and that's what I'll use from now on. You exhaust the character to produce either the thwart, attack, or defense value. So we are going to attack Rhino for 2. So we give him 2 damage. I did that also with the shortcut, but you can go in here and go into markers and add damage. But I didn't even do F3. I just pushed up arrow and it put markers on him. We also need to put 3 generic markers on the med team. It uses 3 markers. Enters play with 3 counters. When those are gone, discard it. Okay. And that's everything that we're going to do for right now. We're going to throw away Mockingbird. We'll keep Counterpunch though. Then we right click the board, go into automation and select advanced phase. And it becomes the villain phase. When it becomes the villain phase, all of your cards ready, and you draw your hand size. The hand size for Black Panther is 1 point less, it's only 5, than it was as T'Challa. And then Rhino goes. So the first thing that Rhino does is raise the scheme by the, if you notice the up arrow that is just beneath Rhino's fist, it says +1 per person, so it gains 1 because there's only 1 of me. Now I could put markers on here, but they don't change the main scheme threat in the mechanics of that Octagon has on here. So I'm going to go in there and change the main scheme threat manually by 1. When this main scheme threat reaches 7, then I lose. So I need to defeat Rhino before that reaches 7. Okay. Now the next thing Rhino does after that is he is going to attack every player one at a time, starting with the first player token. So, which of course is always me because there's only 1. So Rhino is going to attack Black Panther. Now, if Black Panther was in T'Challa mode, instead of attacking, he would scheme. When the villain schemes, then he adds his scheme value plus a random boost cards value, which I'll show you that in a second, onto the main scheme threat. He adds threat to the main scheme. But since I am Black Panther, I'm in hero mode, Rhino will attack me. So he gets a boost card. And now T'Challa has to decide, or well, Black Panther has to decide whether he is going to defend from Rhino's attack or not. If he does, then he needs to exhaust. And I will defend because I have Counterpunch. After your hero defends against an enemy, deal damage to that enemy equal to your hero's attack. So I plan to do that. Okay, now he flips this card over, and it is in the bottom right corner, those 2 symbols. I can't go click on it because I have to be hovering over it. So this card gives him 2 boost. He doesn't care that it's Shocker. None of that happens. The only thing he's looking for is the boost. So he gets 2 boosts and he adds that to his attack of 2. So he hits me for 4. Black Panther has a defense of 2. So I subtract 2 from that and I take 2 damage. And these, as you can tell, let me put it back to 0. It is changing the hit points automatically. It has a hit points. Black Panther has hit points of 11. And it says right here that Sestonn has hit points of 11. So if I put on 2 damage tokens, it's taking care of it automatically. So it actually works. The main scheme threat didn't do it automatically, so we have to do that manually. But this is taking care of it. So you can either change the hit points from right here, or you can put on the damage tokens. For me, it's easier to put the damage tokens. So he hits me for 2. Now I'm going to play counterattack, or Counterpunch. Cost 0. After your hero defends against an enemy attack, deal damage to that enemy equal to your hero's attack, which is 2. So I do 2 damage to Rhino. In addition to that, Black Panther has Retaliate 1. After this character is attacked, deal 1 damage to the attacking character, so Rhino takes another 1 from that. Okay, and then at the end, well, we also delete his boost card. So that was phase 2 of the villain's turn, and phase 3 is we get encounter cards to draw, and you deal 1 to each player, and then that player flips the card over, and you go through whatever the actual card is. Now we're not looking at the boost value, we're looking at what the actual card is. So this is advance. It makes the villain scheme. So Rhino is going to scheme. He has a 1 scheme value, but he also gets a boost card to raise that up. Now I can't do anything about his scheming, so he's going to add 1. He's got a 1-point boost to his 1, and he raises this scheme. He raises the threat by 2, and it becomes 3. 1 plus 1. Okay, we delete both of these, and it becomes my turn. So I right-click the empty board, go to Automation, Advanced Phase, and it becomes the hero phase. Alright, well, Black Panther is already exhausted because he defended, but I also attacked with it, so it was very worth doing that. Now, our hand is not very good. We have all of these Wakanda Forever, and what Wakanda Forever does, resolve the special ability of each Black Panther upgrade you control in any order. So they go through a sequence, and the only one that I have is the Panther Claws. Deal 2 damage to an enemy, 4 if this is the last step of the sequence. So there are 4 different Black Panther upgrade cards that he can have attached to him, and using Wakanda Forever will activate all 4 of them in any order that I want. So instead, I only have the 1. So we'll pay Vibranium, which is a retardedly high cost for this. 2, we'll pay for Wakanda Forever. And it only has that one part of the sequence, so I'm going to do 4 damage to Rhino. We do him 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, he's got a total of 5 left, so I'm not going to knock him out by doing it again, but I'm going to do it again anyway. We'll pay with Wakanda Forever to play Wakanda Forever. And we're going to hit him again for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, I can use my med team, exhaust the med team, and remove 1 medical counter from it to heal 2 damage to a friendly character. Do I want to do that? I think let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to exhaust, reduce the counter by 1, and then we're going to reduce our damage by 2, which takes us back to 11. Okay, and that's it for our turn. Advance the phase, and now it is the villain phase. So the first thing he's going to do is raise his threat. Then he's going to attack Black Panther. So he gets his boost card. And I am not going to defend this time. Although I do have another counter punch. I'm not going to defend this time. So we'll flip it over. It adds 1 plus his 2. He hits me for 3, and I take 3 damage. 1, 2, 3. And we delete this. Now, when he hit me, retaliate 1, he takes 1 more damage. That's 14 damage on his 14 hit points, and it reduced the villain hit points to 0. So we are going to right-click the board and select Defeat Villain. Now he's the Rhino 2 card. He still has a 1 scheme, but his attack went up to 3, and he has When Revealed. We want to search the encounter deck and the discard pile for the Breaken and Taken side scheme and reveal it. And then shuffle that encounter deck. So we go in here. Right click here, and we want to look at all cards. And we are looking for Breaken and Taken. It's going to be a sideways card like this. There it is. Breaken and Taken. We take that out and stick it up there. And we want to close and shuffle the encounter deck. Okay, so he's brought that back out. And this was what part of the turn? This was him attacking me. Okay, so he's already done that. Now, what Breaking and Taken does, Rhino is breaking things and taking them. When revealed, place an additional 1 per person threat here. So it starts with 2. You can see the 2 right there. It starts with 2. And then, since there's only 1 of me, it gets another 1. So it's going to have 3 threat tokens on it. And now this +1 card means that when I deal encounter cards to every player, there will be an additional one that is dealt to the starting with the player with the first token. So since I was only getting one, it's doubling. Where I'm going to have 2 every time that Break It and Take It is out there. But if there was, say, another player with me, that extra card is not, we don't all get the extra card. It's just +1 extra card, and it goes on whoever has the first player token. Now, if there were 2 different side schemes that gave this effect, then we would both end up getting one. But that is horrible. In a one-player game, just getting one of these is doubling the number of encounter cards. That's horrible, and I will want to get rid of that as soon as possible. But, at the same token, he already has 4 of 7 that he needs to win, so I can't really let that get by either. So we'll have to see what happens. This isn't looking very good. Alright, now we do encounter cards, and I get a second encounter card because of Breaking and Taken. So we will flip over the first one and resolve it. It is Stampede. If we were in alter ego mode, if we were T'Challa, then it would gain Surge. What Surge does is you draw another card. Basically, since its effect is only gain Surge, then it doesn't do anything itself. You just draw another card. But we're not T'Challa, we are Black Panther. So Rhino attacks. If a character is damaged by this attack, that character will be stunned. So he is going to hit me for 3 plus his boost card. I can only block 2, so I'm going to be hit and I'm going to be stunned. So do I want to defend? I think I will defend because I do have that counter attack, that counter punch. So okay, I will defend. Let's flip this over and see what his boost is, and his boost is 2. And this is the obligation card that Black Panther put into the deck. So this isn't a bad way to have it come up. So it doesn't come up as an encounter card, and I don't actually have to deal with it. So 2 boost plus his 3 attack, he hits me for 5. Minus my 2 defense, he hits me for 3. 1, 2, 3. We delete this. We can delete this. He did attack me, so we're going to retaliate and hit him for 1, as Black Panther's retaliate power. And I'm also going to play counter punch for 0 and hit him for 2, attack of 2. It's the same thing that we used before. So he takes 2 more, and he has had 3 damage out of 15. Oh, we need to reset this. It doesn't reset when the new villain comes out. So 15 minus 3, it should be at 12. Okay. Now let's hope that this card doesn't make him attack me. Explosion. If Bomb Scare is in play, Bomb Scare is another one of these side schemes. Then assign damage. If Bomb Scare is not in play, this card gains Surge. So this has nothing happen, and we just pull another one and do it instead. Hard to keep down. Rhino heals 4 damage. If no damage was healed this way, this card gains Surge. So he's only got 3. He heals that. And we get rid of these. And this isn't looking very good. But that's it for Rhino's turn. So we advance phase. And it is now hero phase. Well, we've got an awful lot of things to buy stuff, but we don't have anything to actually buy. So we'll go ahead and put this here. Indomitable. After your hero defends, we can discard Indomitable and it will ready your hero. Ready is, making him ready after he was exhausted. After he defends. So that doesn't do me a whole lot of good. But I think we'll keep the Vibranium. I don't know what to do. Now, I could turn back into T'Challa. That will give me an extra card draw. T'Challa himself, I could show you. T'Challa himself doesn't have any power that I can use every turn, so there's not a lot of point to return, except for further recovery 4. Well, I don't need that recovery. I can do this. Take off 1 of these, and that takes off 2 of my damage. I could also turn into T'Challa, and that would make it so that Rhino doesn't attack me with his new higher attack. He will scheme. The problem with that is that he's already at 4 of his 7, and if he schemes, he's going to win. He's most likely going to win. So I cannot end my turn as T'Challa because Rhino will scheme. So it's not looking very good. I'm exhausted. If I wasn't exhausted, then I could thwart and remove threat from the main scheme, or I could thwart and remove threat from breaking and taken. But I'm already exhausted. So that's it. Advance phase. And now is villain phase. It's Rhino's turn. He raises the main threat by 1 at the start of his turn. By 1. Then he chooses whether he's going to attack me. He either attacks Black Panther or he schemes against T'Challa. So he's going to attack Black Panther. He pulls a boost card. Well, I definitely don't want to be exhausted, but I do have Indomitable, so I will exhaust to defend it, planning to use Indomitable after to ready myself so that I can take a turn this turn. He gets no boost, so that's good. He hits hard enough already. So he hits me for 3, minus my 2, so I take 1. We remove his boost card. Now, after your hero defends, discard Indomitable, ready your hero. So, Black Panther is readied. Also, when he hit Black Panther, we had our retaliate, so he takes 1 damage. Then we do our encounter cards, and we still get a second encounter card because Breaking and Taken is still there. Armored Rhino suit attached to Rhino. When any amount of damage would be dealt to Rhino, place it here instead. Then, if there is at least 5 damage here, discard the Armored Rhino suit. That sucks. That sucks really bad. Then we flip this over, and Rhino is going to attack me. If you're in hero form, the villain attacks you. So, he gets a boost card. I still cannot afford to defend. When a treachery card is revealed from the encounter deck, cancel its when revealed effects. The villain attacks you instead. Well, that's what it does, so I don't need that. Alright, let's see what his boost card is. His boost card adds 1 to his 3. Leaves me for 4. We don't need this anymore. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I am down to 2 hit points. I have 9 of 11. Okay, well, that was horrible. And his turn is over. So we advance phase. Hero phase. Okay. Armored vest. That would have been nice to have a long time ago. Well, considering I have all these things to pay for, we will pay with Vibranium. It is 2 resources to pay for Haymaker. Deal 3 damage to an enemy. Now, if you notice, it says hero action. That means that I have to be in Black Panther to use this card. So I can't use it as T'Challa, only as Black Panther. So I am still in Black Panther. So we deal 3 damage to the enemy, and that's going to go onto the Armored Rhino suit. Get rid of Haymaker. And I could attack and destroy the Armored Rhino suit, but we really need to get this thing thwarted. So that's what I'm going to do. Exhaust, and we're going to take our 2 thwart value and reduce that from the main scheme from 5 to 3. We are also going to use the last token on the med team to heal me by 2, and we're going to delete the med team, which happens when it doesn't have any more. Okay, we'll be able to use this if he thwarts, so that's 1 point of help. We might as well put the armored vest in play. we'll pay with Get Behind Me, which produces 1 mental resource to put Armored Vest. We'll stick it down here. Play under any player's control, max 1 per player. Your hero gets +1 defense. So that'll help if I continue to get these defense cards, which I've probably already used them all. And we are going to become T'Challa, because I definitely don't want to be hit again. If he hits me for 5 again, that's it. So we become T'Challa. And then we end our turn. It is now villain phase. So the first thing that Rhino does is raise his main scheme by 1 point. Then he's going to take an action against me, and since I am T'Challa, he will scheme instead of attack. He has no idea where to find Black Panther, so he's just going to work on his own scheme instead of attack. He still gets his boost card, and it adds 2. So he's going to scheme for 1 scheme plus that 2 boost for 3. 5, 6, 7. And he only needed 7. So Rhino just wins the game. I could have stayed in Black Panther mode and hoped he didn't hit me very hard, but... Oh, you know what? Take that back. Take back 1. We have this. Emergency. When the villain schemes, reduce the amount of threat placed on the scheme by 1. That was my plan, I forgot. So we reduced it by 1. He's only at 6. He will win next turn if I don't do something about it. Or, if he draws the encounter card, makes him scheme, he will also win, because I can't do anything about it. Flip the card. This card gains Surge because I'm in Alter Ego mode. I'm in T'Challa. So it does not attack me. So he gets another card. That's not what I wanted to see. This is a minion card. Notice it has the scheme and attack values on it. It has a 3 hit points value. And he has guard. While this minion is engaged with you, you cannot attack the villain. So, this minion is now engaged with me, so I cannot attack Rhino, and things are looking even worse. But Rhino's turn is over. I could heal for 4. That's what the recovery is. But that would be my action for the turn. We do have the Vibranium suit we can put into play. Vibranium suit moves 1 damage from the hero to an enemy, 2 if it's the final step of the sequence. That might be the thing to do, but we have to remove the threat. And then we also have to end up in Black Panther mode. Not looking good. Okay. So we're going to flip over back into Black Panther. Let's pay 2 for the Vibranium suit. And then we can pay 1 Ancestral Knowledge. We pay the resource to pay Wakanda Forever, which will activate both of the Black Panther upgrades. So I have to decide which one's going to be the last part of the sequence, final step of the sequence, because it is stronger. So we're going to do the final step of the sequence being the Vibranium suit. Well, maybe we don't want to do that. So the way I was thinking, is use the Vibranium suit because then I could remove 2 damage from myself instead of only 1. However, since the other thing would cause 2 damage, that would remove the Armored Rhino suit. Okay, yeah, we're going to do that. So the first thing is the Black Panther clause that does deal 2 damage to an enemy. That enemy is... Oh, I can't hit Rhino because I have this stupid guy here. Well, I guess the 2 damage goes on to the mercenary. And then we do move 1 damage from your hero to an enemy. 2 if this is the final step, and it is the final step. So we're going to remove 2 damage from Black Panther, and we're going to put them on the Hydra Mercenary. So now he has 4 damage and 3 hit points. We defeat the Hydra Mercenary. I can't afford to hit Rhino right now. It would remove his armor. That would be great. But he will win if I don't thwart. So I have to thwart. We reduce the main scheme by 2. From 6 to 4. That's it. No more cards. It's Rhino's turn. Villain phase. First thing he does is raise the scheme. Raises it to 5. Then he's going to attack me. He's got 3 attack and he gets a boost card. This doesn't raise his attack. All it does is giving him some extra points. We add 2 to his 3. He hits me for 5. I guess I should have defended, but I can't be... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can't be using my action to be exhausting. I've already lost. 0 hit points. Well, it has me at -1, but 11 damage of 11, so somewhere along the line it got messed up. 11 damage of 11, and Rhino is the victor. That bastard. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed the show, and even more than that, I hope it recorded. Let's go find out. Goodbye.